Big Dipper, Olga Morgan. Annotation. Having learned about his father's illness, Pavel returns home to a remote taiga village. Everything around is simple and clear, but only at first glance. The taiga keeps its secrets connected with the life of Pavel's family. Pavel watched the old UAZ. For a modest fee, the driver agreed to take him from the station to a remote taiga village, but he had to get off earlier. There was no road to the village, only narrow paths and ruts from the cars that occasionally drove in. Part of the way, quite far, about 5 kilometers, had to be walked, but Pavel was not upset. He checked the homemade epaulets on his demobilization uniform, moved his beret to the right side, and hoisted his battered sports bag onto his shoulder, and confidently walked from the road to the path leading to the village. The last time Pavel was in Ursa Major was 3 years ago, for his mother's funeral. On the 40th day after the wake, he left for Moscow. He drank heavily for a long time, drowning his sorrows and memories. He had no desire to study, and Pavel gave in. After some time, he was expelled from the university for truancy and poor academic performance. Yulia, Pavel's girlfriend, dumped him after he hit her while dead drunk. Not hard, but enough to put an end to their already shaky relationship. Then came the realization that life was heading in the wrong direction. In October, a summons arrived. Oddly enough, this fact made Pavel happy. Here it was, a sign. It was time to pull himself together. Soon he was sent to the airborne troops. Fortunately, his health allowed it, and the desire to serve the motherland was also present. The year literally flew by like one day. The service, as Pavel had expected, turned out to be to his liking. He was ready to sign a contract and stayed to ITU. He was just waiting for the right opportunity. But a letter with the news of his father's illness changed his mood at once. Pavel left for demobilization as a junior sergeant and the best in the company for parachute jumps. Oh, if only he had stayed on the contract, he would have worn a badge of distinction. No joke, parachutist, instructor. Well, what can you do? The native village was surrounded on 3 sides by a dense coniferous forest. Thickets of cedar, fir and spruce rose like a wall, covering the surrounding hills with a lush carpet. At this time of year, the forest was full of colors, but not a single artist, not even the most talented, could convey all of its beauty. And not a single poet could convey to readers the feeling when you stand at the foot of a hill, breathing in the aroma of the taiga, as if the essence of the forest, the spirit of nature itself, penetrates every cell. This is where real life is, Pavel thought. Slender birches rustled welcomingly from the breath of a still warm breeze. Some of their leaves had fallen off, covering the untrodden areas of land with a golden covering. The fresh taiga air cleared the mind of oppressive thoughts. Not counting the time of service, Pavel felt in his place for the first time in 3 years. He confidently walked towards his father's house. Ursa Major was a village of several dozen houses. It was located about 20 kilometers from the nearest settlement and any civilization. Most of the locals had lived here for several generations, but some, like Mikhail Sergeyevich, Pavel's father, had arrived from other parts of the vast taiga. Mikhail was brought together by chance with Nina, his future wife, and the only love of his life. Her family had lived far from the big world for many years. However, Nina's parents still sent her to study in the city. Perhaps her life would have turned out differently if it had not been for the handsome young Mikhail, who had arrived to replace the old huntsman. Nina fell in love at first sight. After finishing her studies as a paramedic, she came to visit her parents for the summer, and she stayed. She married Mikhail, and a year later Pavel was born. So Pavel's parents put down roots in Ursa Major, for not tall wooden fence flooded welcoming bark. Haze, West Siberian-like unusual smoky color, fully justifying given to her nickname. Michael Sergeyevich dreamed start good hunting dog. Hayes became the last one as a gift wives, a now more, and warm reminder, oh, her, Paul, entered we well-groomed courtyard. Hayes, wagging to all body, ran up to the guy, joyfully whining and bouncing on rear paws. Hello, my good. How you grew up, girl? Paul scratched, smoke full with ears, sat down on squats and hugged dog. When Paul saw her last once, she was more 1-year-old puppy, but by all visibility Hayes his, not forgot. In window, it seemed overgrown thick grey beard, haggard and strongly aged face, Mikhail Sergeyevich, Paul, with by labor, found out we, this old man father. Michael Sergeyevich, gesture invited guy, we house, that kissed, smoke, we forehead, rose, having, and said smiled to father. Then ran up on high carved porch, and opened wide heavy door. Fatherly house enveloped guy relative smells, such there as we each housing there barely can confuse or forget. It smelled wood, dried herbs, and berries. In the entryway on strong threads were drying assorted mushrooms and bunches mint. A canvas bags on wooden shelves were stuffed leaf, raspberries, blackberries, lingonberry shoots, and others, gifts, wet, nurses, taiga. Paul noticed what we at home, how and in the yard, was purely and cozy, how before, how at life, mothers, shuffling slippers, father came out the hallway. He relied on wooden stick, served to him with a cane. Legs father were partially paralyzed. After death, wife's Michael Sergeyevich transferred to stroke. Last happened couple months back. How once, when Paul accepted solution stay on service. Hello, son, with easy hoarsely, but by as before strong-willed voice, greeted son Michael Sergeyevich. Hello, Dad. Paul came up closer. Hugging father, he felt how strongly that lost weight. Here, and Matt, healthy became witch. Give I'll take a look on you. A form that how sits. Michael Sergeyevich sat down on stool and wiped wet from joyful tears eyes. Handsome man. Mother Wood was proud you. Paul lowered head, took off beret. Mother wanted to. I became surgeon. I, all, you and myself. You know, he, with annoyance, shook head. You here, how? Tell better. How myself do you feel? Michael Sergeyevich, by good smiled. Yes, I little by little. Legs only, not listen. So I live. How you see? UV guests dropped in or longer you will stay? Asked he. Dead. So I stay wanted. forever. I thought about it. You and my help will be needed. So, there, I'll learn a little. I will become huntsman. How you? Military ticket, not in vain, received. At least this business will come in handy. A how? Same. Yulichka. Surprised Michael Sergeyevich. Gone she from me. Let's not, we will about this. I won't stay, if you're not against. Certainly. You, this. Let's beg my room, take it away. There. All how? And was it you? Yes, dinner we will. Michael Sergeyevich grinned and shook head. Not thought I. What? You will accept such solution. Made me happy me on old age. Years, son. But you think about it more. Local life. For young boring it will seem. All I will understand. If what you not worry. Dead, all decided. A boring will become. I'm getting married. Paul laughed and went to my room. In small cozy in the little room with one window. And really all left. So same. How we last arrival. Pavla home. Light wallpaper. With geometric pattern. Their Paul glued together. With mom. Heavy wardrobe closet. With big mirror in all height. Writing table. With his Pavla photography on her. We hug. With smiling. Yuli. Narrow book closet. With diverse books. From medical medicine to fantasy. Very soft, checkered sofa. Paul bought his shortly to death mums. Can say. At Paul put back near with closet. Came up to table and took the hands frame with photography. With minute looked. Then removed the box table. Spread heavy dark curtains. Letting in the room rays autumn sun. On so his became calmly. He believed what came back here, not in vain. Carefully having laid out by shelves not rich content bags, Paul concluded. What the city drive will have to earlier. How he expected. Need to was purchase socks, t-shirts, which anything suitable. For hikes the forest costume, having placed on hanger my front door form, and having changed clothes, the convenient tights and flannel shirt, he passed the kitchen. Father sat at open windows, smoking cigarette. Dad, you what smoke, not abandoned. You same it is forbidden. Worry, they say. To me it is forbidden. When I smoke, not especially, I'm worried. Laughed it off Michael Sergeyevich, having thrown smoking cigarette butt, the tin bank from under Greenpeace. Not serious. How that? Became alarmed Paul. He clapped father by shoulder and felt how sticking out bones. More 3 years back, Michael Sergeyevich was lean and cheerful little man. With ease overcoming distances, we 10 kilometers, by snow-covered taiga, but now he reminded covered skin skeleton. If would not thick vegetation on face, his would compare with a convict. Paul sat down for table against father. Dad, who to you comes? Wives local men, they look in. Who food will prepare? Who will clean up? Who will wash? It feels like it female hand we at home. Paul circled kitchen with a glance. Kettle on stove already boiled, and boy fast put aside his side. A huntsman. Now who? Volodya Semenchuk. So he same like Forrester? Surprised Paul. Yes, but others, rangers, except me, and no we village, remained only foresters. And forester, glory, yes, he here, not leaves, he is coming for reports once, we month, and Kami, saw me visit. And how Uncle Volodya, cops, well like. What already garnered him? There is license, same. How not huntsman? Michael Sergeyevich guilty smiled and shook hands shoulders. What? Willing? No, take up yours place. Pouring with boiling water aromatic herbs, asked Paul. This, after all responsible, job complicated by to his own. Let's say so. If honestly, not for all, she, live, we, forest, track for in order, animals protect, poachers track. Not every will be able to. This we already accustomed, a youngsters, to such not adapted, molds, and to me, son, dead, so I can to be instead of you. How you will get better, together we will. Paul filed to father smoking mug. Pashka, I already, not, I'll get better. This, after all, not runny nose, understand. Legs barely, I'm dragging. Dead, all it will get better. I believe. And you believe. Okay, we'll live, we'll see. By with Volodya you'll walk around. You will remember what at us here. Yes, how. I with Slavic I'll talk. To he got busy. And all on paper officially did. Days became, briefly speaking, nights longer. Latest leaves flew around. With falling asleep trees, first snow-covered dark coniferous taiga, tall mountains pulled spruce hands, trying grab hold of four low gray clouds. Paul fully came back to usual life without routine. But discipline, how spoke father? Was it him? We, blood. He studied path on paternal maps, attentively listened Vladimir Petrovich, became his mentor. I wrote notes, notebook many, and with pleasure, what never, not was in time studies. To moving Moscow, to Pavel already had to help to father. Michael Sergeyevich learned son, to everything little by little. How track down beast, how distinguish female from male. How, with help and assets, get rid of from annoying midges, and a lot to another. In one from days, Paul enthusiastically pricked firewood. A well-fed haze was lying at wood piles, and frantically gnawed birch a block of wood. Suddenly, from four fence, showed up head Vladimir Petrovich five, had ear flaps, famously twisted on one side. Pash, well you what? Are you already? With half an hour I am waiting. Visit Vladimir Petrovich, unlocking wicket gate. Sorry, Uncle Volodya, firewood, need to prepare. Nights, myself. You know, cold. At father, empty woodshed. You, let's get ready, already. Go out necessary. Today last once with me you are going. A feather myself already. It's time, month past. Yes, and learn to me you more nothing to do. Rest only on practice. Uncle Volodya, you wait here. Fine. Back wet through. Now I'll change my clothes. Yes, let's go. Paul drove in XV deck slipped away we house. To midday. Vladimir Petrovich. And Paul went around. Plot V. 13 kilometers. Was approaching November. Was approaching period when every step we taiga will have to recapture. Temperature air noticeably fell. Haze was engaged their own everyday canine affairs. I was digging whole gopher, snorting from stuffing nostrils, snow, and lens. Paul glanced on compass and scrawled had memorized for this time card's trope. Snow was at all few. A harvest cedar nuts this year turned out rich. Animals by no way not wanted to fit in. Long winter dream. Uncle Volodya, to winter quarters. Today let's go in? Necessary would take a look. What there? Not this, you myself. Then you will go. You same already Slavic statement wrote. Yes, he Sunday arrived, father, with him ground, like how not against me without any this red tape paper put on fast huntsman. Where he will go away? How many Sergei his ass covered? Yes. And whom he will put on this plot? Those who wish that not much. Responsibilities? Higher roofs. Yes. And dangerous? Uncle Volodya. You how? About how? Oh, how? About bears. In volume year even two got up among winters. Like, and food them enough. Out. Gophers which fatty. Vladimir Petrovich showed with a finger beside haze, playfully jumping near, with to death scared, and frozen gopher size, with small cat, there, which a what bears, get up mystery. Paul thought about it over inwards, Forrester, but remained silent, having decided, what nothing sensible assume. Not maybe. To me would region go, Slavic said. What license on wearing paternal fittings get need to? Yes, which problems? You airborne forces served. So? Yes, you with hands and legs on any plot huntsman they will take. Now, main show, what order there is, what not. You're shirking from their own responsibilities. You boys strong, you can handle it. I can handle it, Uncle Volodya. I can handle it. November turned out snowy, having covered taiga white blanket. Paul walked by route on short hunting skiing, for shoulder showed off polished union and comfortable backpack with hiking stocks. To winter quarters, where walked Paul, remained not more couples kilometers. Need to was check supplies, huts, and, by possibilities, replenish their the nearest time. Already on approach boy stumbled upon on traces. Without doubt, track was bearish. Paul tensed up, realizing what were that near wonders connecting rod. Took a closer look. To him, straightway it seemed strange. What traces on snow only from two rear paws. How as if clubfoot walked, not on all fours. Bear sometimes gets up and even walks on rear paws, but only for Togo to look what ahead. Vision at bears, not very good. Difference from hearing or olfactory. Or to attack, thought he'd, how current, other traces except bearish, nearby, not was. This, certainly, a little calmed down, but not cancelled availability, the most connecting rod on territory's plot. Need to quicker report, or German glory. Paul took off, with shoulder gun, and looked around. Bear visible, not was, but calmer from this, not was done, smooth vice versa, was growing excitement. Boy swore about myself. What not took smoke, with one side's dog. Now wood very helped, but with another voiced barking and bad habit dig barrows, we winter forest with noise which maybe by accident wake sleeping nearby bear forced leave, not lowering gun. Around was so quiet. What he heard knock on hearts. Having looked around, traces near, with dusted snow, winter quarters, boy removed gun. Excitement little by little retreated. Bear obviously trampled near huts, but door was closed. At all tiny little windows intact. There specially did small to predatory beast not could climb up through them we hut, especially when there waited it out bad weather or just were resting travelers. Bear beast serious, spoke to Pavel father. Connecting roads purposefully are coming out to huts. They know club-footed what can to profit we human housing. But then why he not smashed windows and not tried break out door? To Pavel it seemed like how bear on rare paws carefully fits to winter hut and carefully looks in the painted frost window. Not having found Togo what was looking for, he, so same quiet on two paws, is hiding for the nearest spruce forest. Nonsense which Paul entered the hut was by as before quiet. He looked around, checked supplies, posted the hinged locker, some packages, matches, and pouch salts specially taken from houses, cereals, flour, and some cans. With meat, canned food stood untouched. On the nearest time, supplies here was enough. Near, with small stove potbelly stove, were lying dry firewood and whole bag bark for ignition in barrel. Water. Paul looked on watch. Its time was come back. Back path will take approximately 4 hours. To darkness. How once will make it in time come back? Well, all now home. Sounds distant shots forced his jump out from huts. They shot approximately v-kilometer from Togo places where recently passed Paul. Poachers ran there on skiing with all sides, losing option. Poachers provided good snowmobiles and other technology, but and nothing not undertake Paul, not good. He closed 4 by yourself, heavy door huts, leaning on her shoulder. And how can faster, hurried by his same skiing back, shots fired, repeated. Heart we, breasts loud, it was pounding, Paul sweaty, shirt sticky, to back. Freezing did your own case, covering frost eyelashes, brows, and weakly stubble. Lungs were burning from frosty air. But Paul continued to run, by skiing, not turning on this attention. Army taught his hold pace and did more resilient, going around by path thick spruce forest. Paul heard sound motors. He snatched from 4-shoulder gun and added step. Having run out the bluebell, boy saw how 2 men they are loading carcass teddy bear on sled, attached to snowmobile. A more 2 are holding guns at the ready. Bitches, what and you create? Well, no, with places, shouted Paul. Man turned around, froze. We looked, friend on friend, with a grin. Those who stood with guns were aiming smooth. We Pavla. He understood what from these situations maybe not go out alive, but took myself we Hands, too. Not show excitement. Man, let's buy good. Not bring it to fruition to sin. We people, not we shoot. One from force. How that ridiculous waved by hand V-side ski tracks. He looked like older the rest, apparently main. To sin, you say, this what? By yours. Paul with a nod indicated on sled, where lay dead body teddy bear. Head little animal hung down on side. From nose barely noticeably flowed thin scarlet streams. Which at you chances, boy? Well, you'll shoot one from us. And what? Further, that you, maybe more, and not came up with. What? You're standing? Valley, let's. Paul continued stand, not lowering gun. Bryce, X, what? You with him, you're coddling. Burst in we. Dialogue, rude, hoarse voice. Let's, we'll knock it down. He's already, once, he's such blunt. Us all, equals to all criminal case shines. Shut up, puny. More once like this tone with me you will speak. I you the most. I'll screw you. Understood me, cigarette butt. Barked Senior. And that, how obedient little dog became quiet. Really? What ears not pressed? Man. Well what? By hands. We let's go? Let's options. No, at you. Leave word I give, we let go. Main, even lowered weapon, showing what fire not is going to be different from accomplices, which watched on Pavla through sights rifles. So yard dogs are watching on driven to fence cat. To the haters with a glance, Paul drilled all four bastards. Options and truth not was. Human, whom puny boy named with an X, was right. Main to now, they he's released. Trust my life to non-humans. To Pavel absolutely not wanted. But he lowered gun. Be what will. They will kill means. Such is his fate. Men appreciated gesture Pavla. How agreement. Famously jumped up on snowmobiles and rushed. With places only snowy porridge flew away in all sides. Going around Pavla, they headed V-side winter quarters. In several kilometers from here was Congress. A further and herself road. Paul understood what cars they had, where, that, there. By he will reach to villages there and track will catch a cold. Bastards, flashed by V had evil thought. Then Paul broke down. Bitches. In several meters from here, there, where towered not tall overgrown cedar hills, heard crushed moan. Boy shuddered. Hastily raised gun and looked aim in snow for cedars. What? That it was getting dark. Paul slowly went to goals. Skis got stuck. Potholes from happened. Here, hunting. He stopped, not lowering gun. Then took off skis and backpack and went further. How can quiet stepping on bloody snow? Under spruce lay little bare teenager. By external signs to him was a little bit more years. More, not independent, but already. And not child. Bloody side beast, hard rose up. Wool on side was broken through. From wounds, pulsating, poured dark blood. Here, bitches. Although would finished off creatures, Paul took aim. To him nothing not remained. How only finish off dying animal. Suddenly, little bear opened slightly eyes, raised head, and looked on Guy like this unnatural, for beast with a glance. What Paul even was taken aback. He was trying hard press on descent, but not could. From big brown eye beast rolled tears. Boy measurement, dropped gun, and as if by intuition, did uncertain step V-side wounded bird. I will help. Do you hear? Only give to me you help. Not I will offend. You, this, only not twitch. Paul came up to the bear cub. So close, what could by hand touch to muzzles? Bear calmly lay and watched on him. If would not shock from situations, Paul would swear, what in look, beast clearly readable. Help to me. He removed union and, squatting near, examined wound. Through, bullet broke through side and came out with another sides by tangent. Maybe be vital important organs, not touched, but blood loss. Need to what that do, and immediately. Otherwise, beast will for a long time and painfully die. You only be patient to houses, small. I will help. Teddy bear sniffed hand Guy, greedily pulling in air nostrils. And how that not by bearish sign. After eyes he started close, and he went limp. Paul not became hesitate, snatched from backpack hiking hatchet, ran up to spreading gate, and started chop off strong branches. Having bandaged dense with twine some lush spruce branches, he built sunbed from 2 ropes twisted, straps on shoulders, and belt on manners, harnesses, floundering, and getting stuck snow. Boy tightened beast on drags. Teddy bear was without consciousness. At first, to Pavel it seemed what that already not breathes, but having a closer look, he distinguished what sides beast occasionally rise up. Paul walked slowly, and with by labor pulled for by yourself. Dying beast. Body it was burning, numb tired legs. 2 villages remained kilometers 5. They were thickening twilight, went thick snow. Visibility fell almost to null. Paul was afraid, not be on time. Was afraid. What will bring home dead body? This thought forced his move forward. In the distance heard familiar barking. A more through 100 meters. Paul saw through familiar silhouette and running near smoke. Dead? Surprised boy. She ran up joyful dog and at once dispelled all his doubts. Really? Ahead, leaning on cane, walked Michael Sergeyevich. Dead? You for what came out. Glory to God, alive. Michael Sergeyevich stopped, bent over more, stronger, holding on for heart, and trying catch your breath. Haze, whining, rubbed at his legs. Dead. What happened? How you at all here got there? Michael Sergeyevich straightened up, looking around. I were Pavla. Dead? No. Strongly wounded. Dead. No time speak. He barely alive. She, this, she. You there distinguish, forgot how. Yes, not to this to me. Dead. Okay, go. I behind. I'll go. Help. Not I can. Myself would get there back. Now. You, for what at all for me went? Slavic called. He how once was driving. To us, give away your papers and report forester's take. By on the road stumbled upon on such picture. Two inverted snowmobile near two tormented bodies. As if by him skating rink we rode. Further SUV with trailer. One with crushed skull. So and sat for steering wheel. Second apparently managed run out from cars. But near they tore it apart his almost in half. Slavik said, what with by labor found out. One poacher with experience, so say, apparently, on connecting road ran into trouble. Although by story Slavika there was, how minimum two, a little bear? Which more little bear? Slavik said, empty were. Dead, I there caught up, but nothing, not smoke, do. Let go. They, with by yourself, one teddy bear, we made it, in time take, but that like dead was. Then her found, boy nodded, we sighed wounded bird. Okay, let's figure it out. Houses, we warm. That understand old bones badly warm up. Soon they already were houses. They called Vasily Petrovich on help, dragged in teddy bear v canopy. Michael Sergeyevich processed and sewed up wound. All this time little bear not came v myself. Only hard breathed and shuddered to all body. Together accepted solution leave his v in the entryway. Be what will, how it is said. But little bear must was get out. Paul all night, not closed eye. He sat v kitchen, pondering what happened. Soon v doors showed up. Michael Sergeyevich. You what? Not went to bed more? Restlessly asked his son. Dream not is coming. We had all this spinning. How would this now not sounded, Pash? But this and there is yours job. Can say past combat baptism. I there from huts, winter quarters, hours, trace so. Strange traces, started Paul, having raised sight on father. In how same strangeness? Michael Sergeyevich sat down against and lit up. You know, how as if bear, for a long time, walked on rear paws. So not it happens. Well, 100 meters. Well, 200. A here, almost kilometer past, and smooth to huts walked, purposefully, how as if. I at first even tensed up, thought he inside, but no, quiet there, dead, nothing, not broken, nothing, not broken, very weird all. I here think, this she-bear went, and I was looking for mine brood. It is visible, what that woke up bear cubs. They and more often total lie down together with mothers. On two paws, you say. Michael Sergeyevich all became gloomy. Thought about it. How as if hung. Dead. Sight father drilled emptiness. Dead. Yes. Yes. In how case? What? You know. I. This. Awakening in winter. Same. Explain. Not can they not are starving in forests more how enough berries, mushrooms, nuts and small game well fed they understand. As those whom woken up poachers for a long time not live. What old traces can say? Eat thoughts why bear so walked. Paul intently watched on father, try and catch the slightest movement wrinkles on his face. Somewhat not gives to me peace. Are you not told? Yes, you, and not asked. Maybe and not need to. This about how you, about death moms. Michael Sergeyevich waved beside refrigerator. Moreover here, mother, bring it to me white, son. It is forbidden after all you. And so today, Lord Big was, Pasha, o volume. What I'll tell you. Without this, no way. Paul not became continued dispute. Clear was, what father, just so, not will grind language. Humbly rose, got it from refrigerator, fogged up bottle and put on table. Michael Sergeyevich, poured to yourself, drank, even not wincing, then lit up. When I found Mom, that even not straight away understood what she did, she was lying carefully, as if herself lay down on glades, as if slept, she understand. I not wanted you tell about this, not smoke, not wanted to wound you more stronger. That I know how you, not I blame. Nobody not could predict what hard young women not will endure. No pash. This was not hard. What you do? You have view. Her killed. Brows Pavla came together at bridge of the nose, forming shallow wrinkle. He watched on father, not understanding, with a glance, inside all was shrinking. Intercepted breath, words her killed, fought. We had jackhammer with a hammer, surrendering echo we quiet at home. Mother died from stops hearts, whispered Paul. Exactly. This I, and said you. They knew the truth, only I, forensic expert, and Oleg with Volodya. Nothing. Not understand. Why you to me? Not said. How her killed. Who this was. Eyes Pavla sparkled from approaching tears. Voice was shaking. Hard booze V breasts, and his blows were given away. V temples. Have a drink, son. I, and myself to end. Not understand how this it came out. Michael Sergeyevich spilled vodka by glasses, then stretched out one to son. Paul in one go. When I found her first, what I noticed, these fuzzy traces on earth, traces rear bearish pose. I first thought, what these human traces, but fast brushed aside this one thought. Sometimes fuzzy track bears, they are confused with human. Well, this you know. But these exactly were bearish traces, son. There was a little. They left grass. There, badly visible. Mother, not fought. I. Why? That sure. This. Not screamed. That's why. What I would heard. Basket with mushrooms stood carefully under spruce. Michael Sergeyevich drank. He remained silent. To her broke neck. Carefully, how they break professional fighters. No smudges, no bruises, nothing. She was lying face up, spread out hands, sides, how angel, other stresses, except bearish. And her own eye not found. You won't say, Mom killed bear? Just came up to her and broke to her neck? I say that what so, and what I think truth. Michael Sergeyevich endured, pause, turned away to window, for which was impenetrable darkness. Then continued, eat one legend these edges. Paul watched on father, trying hard catch his muddy look, glimmer reasonable. In what year? This was not I know, but lived such Prince Vasilko Rostislavovich. He concluded union with by the people, called Baron days. So here, by legends people, this was difficult. On field battles contacted Davy, mighty Berolakov, werewolves, bears. Paul skeptically looked on father. But Togo mistrust son not at all, not confused. For a long time served, they different to the princes on Rus. After were, that without a trace disappeared. But walks such legend, what left barren days dev taiga forests, disappeared under earth, going out on surface guys, bears, and live by this day on open spaces taiga, not losing of reason, not forgetting who they such, old believers these places they told. What? Berolaki. These the only ones werewolves, which are turning to, by own at will and not are losing at this memory. They are guarding, now mother, their taiga, and punish those who is outrageous on her open spaces. Paul not could believe what father tells such things, and thinks what this maybe be truth, the most, the main thing, what this cause deaths his mother's, dead, in order, Paul without demand took out cigarette from paternal packs and lit up. Keep quiet, I'm not finished, growled Michael Sergeyevich on son, eyes his darkened, to moving, big one, she bear, an acquaintance with Nina. I was engaged in trade, unclean affairs. Young was, wanted Lance money. Old friend suggested a job, for which should were not pondering, agreed. Job concluded. Next. Need to was track bears, with bear cubs, after bring lovers, shoot, by hunted down animals. Father lowered eyes, drilling with a glance, empty glass. This not was hunting, how you already understood. This were games rich kids. I did this some once, by not became witness this bullying. Pregnant she-bear, strongly wounded, driven in on clearing and surrounded. Threw it on her metal net, tied to UAZ, to she, not could attack or defend oneself. These monsters burned bonfire, took long sticks, heated up, and poked by them she-bear. By she, not switched off, I earlier, never, not saw such cruelty. Not smoke more, no, for which money do this. Through couple months read newspaper. What forest plantation, in that the most, where I took away these fanatics. Mushroom pickers found dead, disfigured woman, pregnant. On telly her were tense burns. Case wrote off on maniac. I, then a little bit, with mind, not came down. Drunk for a long time, closed his urban apartment, and was afraid even shop go out. To me dreamed nightmares. I woke up, sweat, got drunk, and again, as if pit failed, I and huntsman become decided to atone guilt for all. What did something wrong? With time, life got better. Nightmares passed. With drinking I at all tied up. Wrote off all on stress. Sent me big one she-bear, senior huntsman. Instead of Boris Alexeyevich, he how once left on peace. 20 years we forest worked. After I met with yours mom, lived fine, calmly. And think about it. Not good. What taiga? Father highlighted this word will require retribution. I not knew what she all remembers. Why not me killed? I understand. To suffered all the remaining life and remembered to suffered then and scolded myself. Michael Sergeyevich cried, yours mother told to me this one legend. I not believed to her, or was afraid, believe. He joked it off, spoke. What? This total only tale village. How? And you? Now, son, now here. He wiped face, sleeve shirts, and went quiet. Paul was staying prostration from herd. Not having said no words, he left my room. Fall asleep, Paul, not smoke. Quiet sat on the couch, looking 1 point. AV head was spinning insane story father and recent events. For window gradually it was dawning. Paul came out canopy, visit wounded bird, and freeze on old sheepskin coats and jackets, which they with father laid down under wounded teddy bear. Was lying naked, dark-haired young woman. On right, her side turned purple bandage. Boy not could believe his own eyes. Thank you, Dad. Now at me, glitches. He pinched myself strongly to pain. Not I'm sleeping. Leaned over, hesitantly pressed hand to naked hip strangers. Having felt scorching cold skin under with your palm. This not glitch. Paul finally came to his senses, picked up girl on hands and brought in house. In room, he rushed about confused and called father. That, by all visibility, slept ho. Paul not understood what to him do. In head were spinning tense thoughts, but no, on one he not could stay. Having laid down girl on mine sofa, Paul covered her warm blanket and took for cold hand to check pulse. Pulse was but very weak, or this only. Seems and she dead, she same such cold. Paul carefully attached head to breasts. We hope here knock hearts. It's beating. In room came in nothing. Not understanding after sleep father. On face Mikhail Sergeyevich it was read astonishment in half with strange relief. Maybe now son not will count he's crazy. Dead. This. Seems like this our wounded animal. Paul looked on father, understanding all absurd of what was said, and simultaneously ashamed what at night a little bit was not named his madman. Now do you believe? Quiet asked father. But how? Yes. Where and I know, son. In this 1 second. Already Michael Sergeyevich looked on son. How on fool. Only what us now. With this do mind. Not I'll attach it. Paul sat down on floor, not taking away eye from girls. Maybe we'll get through it. There, we'll see. All day, Paul was located near, with girl, processed wound, which strange way decreased. Whispered, with father, that, and case peeping in visit guest. Sometimes just silently watched on her. Oddities for latest day Paul saw, and heard enough to assume what at these creatures wounds are healing faster. How at ordinary people She already not looked like dying victim fanatics. Body hormone not was cold, young woman looked like so, as if just tightly slept. Only eyes under for centuries barely noticeably were moving. Externally she very was different from those what boys saw for my life. Soft features, faces, very thick and wide brows, long eyelashes, scattering dark freckles, bedspreads, pink cheeks, long dark chestnut hair. To Pavel, more I liked it, coal their brown, fell off, with pillows on edge sofa, and barely not got it to half, body strong, how. At actresses, playing roles, women Vikings, all she was as if from other piece, Amazon taiga, not otherwise, lean and muscular, but now such fragile and defenseless. By Paul looked at sleeping girl, ta opened wide eyes. Yes, so suddenly, what boy jumped up, and lame stool fell over on side. Her big brown eyes, with strongly extended pupils, watched directly on him. Sight was calm, only blanket was rising from measured breathing. She exactly knew what located we security, what here to her not will cause harm. Paul came up closer and sat down at sofa. Hello. Confused, stretched out. He, you, do, you remember what happened? Speak, Ken. Not be afraid. Now, with you all will fine. We, you, not we will offend. Young woman closed and opened eyes, giving understand what remembers, then raised hand and pressed finger to lips. To me, shut up, perplexed, said Paul. Young woman shook head. She again did this gesture, having attached finger to lips. A, then touched to his own shoulder. You, this, you, not can you, you, not can you. Speak, guessed Paul, and young woman slowly nodded. Now, I'll bring it to drink. You, maybe. One drink? She again nodded. Paul ran in the kitchen. There, reading what kind? That book, said father. Dead. She came we myself. Scooping up from flasks water, shouted boy, and rushed back. Young woman stood at windows. Paul took away eyes, trying not look on naked body. Wait a minute. I will give you what anything put on. Here, take it water. Please, take it. You need to drink. But young woman passed past him on kitchen. Michael Sergeyevich, weaving V room, collided with her at entrance, and gasped, dropped from surprise's cane. Young woman picked up man, not given to him fell, then went around his, and headed to exit. Paul went following, looking, how she as if beast bully's head, and with by force draws in air nostrils. Wait, you more weak, you need to get better. Stay at us, now I to eat what anything, I'll figure it out. Young woman stopped and looked on Guy with such longing eyes, what he straightway all understood. To her need to live. There were her waited relatives. Paul, all equals, wanted stop her, but grab for hand. So and not decided. In head climbed stupid explanations. It's not good. Mole, girl, naked. By village go, which would small, ta village, not was. See can, yes. And it got dark already. And cold. She naked at all. But Paul nothing not managed say. Suddenly at fences flooded ferocious bark haze. Paul ran up to window. For fence on rear paws stood huge brown she-bear. It seemed if she a little will press on him, fence will collapse. How cat house, skin she-bears looked like considerably shabby. Beast obviously tired and got knocked out from forces. She-bear plaintively started bawling, as if calling whom that. And this moment, door canopy swung open. On porch came out young woman, stepping barefoot legs by snow. She passed in yard, his hair same wind, pressed tail and disappeared. We booth. Young woman got up on knees, tumbled over through head, and on her place arose brown little bear. That most saved Pavel wounded animal. He, slightly limping, rushed to fence, but suddenly stopped, stood up on rear paws, and turned around V-side windows. In look teddy bear Paul read gratitude. He pressed palm to cold glass and whispered alone lips. Take care myself. In the distance, barely heard screamed owls. Big she-bear poured out from his own ladle myriad others' constellations. Michael Sergeyevich came up to the guy and clapped his by shoulder. You always was better me, son. You good human and correct huntsman. Paul remained silent. He more for a long time watched following, leaving children taiga, feeling myself alive, necessary, here and happy.